Hello everyone, I'm Auntie Jennie, and today we are here in Sonoma County in the city of Glen Ellen, California to do a self-guided tour around Jack London State Historic National Park. First up on our list is the cottage home where Jack London and his wife Charmian lived in together when they first purchased the 1,000-acre land in the year 1905. You must be wondering, who is Jack London? Well, Jack London, born as John Chaney, grew up in San Francisco and Oakland and became one of America's well-known international authors. And not only is he known for his writings, but he was also an honest-to-goodness celebrity and an adventurer who traveled to many different Pacific islands to even being locked up in a Japanese prison. The last 11 years of his life, him and his wife Charmian lived on this land, what he called the Beauty Ranch, and sometimes the Valley of the Moon, where he wrote some of his famous novels like The Call of the Wild and White Fang. Check out the rope tied to one of the legs of the bed. Well, it's been said that Jack London was a big-time prankster. He would literally wake up people by dragging the bed across the room with that rope. There are even times when he'll drill holes in the walls or even on the floors and pretend that it's an earthquake. This place also kept a lot of their artifacts from their travels from around the world. He was actually inspired by Joshua Slocum, who sailed in a small boat around the world solo. So he bought a boat, and him, Charmian, and a family member who knew how to navigate sailed to Hawaii. Jack and Charmian never slept in the same room. He actually slept in this room. Only because he was a late sleeper and early riser, he wanted to write at least 1,000 words before midday. That way he can carry on tending to the farm or riding on his horse. Jack and machinery was never a good combination. So when I say he liked to write at least 1,000 words, he is literally writing 1,000 words with pencil and paper. When he's done, his wife Charmian would be the one to type it up for him. His office was very extensive, with many books and artifacts. And an office is not complete without a world globe. Jack would always say that his office is a good place to work if you have work to do. He also mentioned that he considered writing to be a profitable chore. Writing was his moneymaker. He needed to continue writing to keep up with the harvesting and animals on his beauty ranch. We're now heading on outside and going towards the old winery. Before the Londons purchased this land, this location was a winery, the main building for Kohler and Frawling Winery. When the Londons bought it, they converted the building into living quarters for the workers. After a 1965 fire that gutted the building, it remains as the ruins you see today. And just like any landowner, Jack wanted his beauty ranch to thrive. It is said that with his travels through Korea and Japan, he noticed that terracing worked well for crops and harvesting, and it helped with erosion too. It is said that Jack London bought this land to escape from the rat race of living in the city of Oakland and San Francisco. He wanted a place where he can comfortably settle in and write, but then also still be close enough to the Bay Area. After seeing cattle live off of spineless cactuses in Hawaii, London decided to experiment feeding his livestock with it. Shortly, he noticed that the spineless cactuses needed irrigation for rapid growth. The experiment ultimately failed because the cactuses grew back their spine. We are now here at the House of Happy Walls. 3 years after Jack London died in 1916, his widowed wife, Charmian, decided to build this house where she would have entertained and invited people to see. And she also lived here until she died in the year 1955. Back in the year 1910, the Londons decided to build their dream home, an unfinished property known as the Wolf House. And in 1913, a month before moving in, the Wolf House burned down. It devastated them, but the Londons put on a good face and said they will rebuild. But it never happened because Jack London died 3 years later. The House of Happy Walls is somewhat of a smaller scale of the Wolf House, and many of the furnishings here was actually meant for the Wolf House. Now, this building, the House of Happy Walls, is used as a museum and a dedication to the life of Jack London and his wife, Charmian. Charmian was Jack's second wife. His pet name for her was Mate Woman. Some of their friends even said she was his soulmate that would follow him in all of his adventures, proving to be the perfect wife. Now, what I thought was clever was Charmian wanted to incorporate the house to make you feel as if you were on a ship. And some of the rooms upstairs, if you looked up at the ceiling, you'll notice that it's curved and beamed like a captain's cabin on a ship. And if you look all around of the house, like the walls and cabinets and tiles, you'll notice that they're the color of oceanic green and teal to represent the sea. Charmian also requested a grand window in the dining room so that she can enjoy the majestic view of Sonoma Valley. This area of the house is all of the London's prized possessions of what they've collected during their travels from around the world. And there are a lot of fun facts and history pieces of their lives. Check it out. And on certain days, you may be lucky enough to walk around the house with some live entertainment. Sam and I, we were one of the lucky ones. I love that he was singing to me. Thank you for watching. I hope my video was helpful enough for you to make that trip over to Jack London's Historic National Park, located in Glen Ellen, California. And if you really enjoyed this video, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel. You can also check out my Instagram and Facebook page. And also comment below of your experience visiting Jack London's Historic National Park. I like to hear from you. And as always, thank you for watching. This is Auntie Jennie. Have a great day.